All right, so what's going on, y'all? So here again with another tutorial for the Android box. This will be an updated tutorial that covers the updated software and features. So we'll get straight to it. You get your box, it looks like this. We open it up. You got your box right here in the plastic, of course. You lift this up in the back, and you've got your HDMI cable, your remote, which I took out, but it'll be in the back like this, and you got your power adapter right here. So we'll close this back up, get started, have a look at it. So we'll take this bad boy out of the plastic, and this is, I plastic them back up so that, you know, everything will be there. So this is how your box looks. Pretty basic setup. On the side, you've got the 3 USBs, you got your SD slot. On the back, you've got your power adapter input on the starting on the right. Then you got Ethernet for hard wiring, your HDMI port. You got another USB, and you got your audio out if you want to run it to like a stereo system or something like that. Now, of course, I won't be using the ones that are already in the box because I've got an adapter and stuff set up here already. So here I'm going to use 3 connections. I got my standard HDMI cable, Ethernet cable, and the power cord. Now, for the purposes of setting up the Wi-Fi, because a lot of you guys use Wi-Fi, I'm going to set up this box on Wi-Fi first. Then I'll plug it in on Ethernet and demonstrate. So plug these 2 in for right now, which is just your HDMI and your power. You get your blue light, which represents that it's turned on. On your screen here, you'll see it's booting up. Now this is it still works like a TV, but it's a 24-inch Asus monitor, but it still has HDMI. So it's just like hooking up a PlayStation or anything like that. You got your 2 basic cables going to the back. So you'll see your intro screen here. And so what we'll do here, you got a intro screen that takes a second to boot the box up. Once the box boots up, you'll have your basic screen like this. Now in the last video, I covered a lot of extra programs. We're not going to cover those. This box really is only designed to run the Kodi application, which is what you see down here with your K. So that's what we're going to cover today. But as you can notice, the time and date at the top aren't right because it isn't on the internet. So that's what we're going to cover here. Now, I happen to be at home, so I go to settings here on my remote. You use your arrows here to navigate, and your OK button is your enter. So I'm going to use the arrows here, go to network. Well, network's already selected. So I hit OK. And you notice here, the Wi-Fi says not connected. Click on OK. It says please turn on Wi-Fi. So we go down here to Wi-Fi device, click OK, click on. Now the Wi-Fi turns on if you give it a second. Now it turns on and now it's scanning. So what we would do here is all my networks come up. Here's my home router. So normally I would just click this, put in my security code, and it connects. But we're not going to do Wi-Fi for this demonstration. I just wanted to show you guys how to get to that and set it up. So what we're actually going to do is use Ethernet. So what I'm going to do is go back to my main screen. I'm going to plug the Ethernet cord here into the back of the box. So once I plug that in, you're going to notice up here in the top corner, the 2 monitors are going to appear. That represents Ethernet. So you see that now, that means Ethernet. And you notice now the time and date are right. It's 3:43 p.m. Okay? So what we do, I'm going to go over here to the remote, go down to the K for Kodi, click on that, and your application loads up. Okay? So you give that a second to load. And I'm just going to go over some of the basic things. Right now it's football season, so I know football is a big thing for a lot of people. So of course the box carries sports. You got your standard stuff. You got sports, TV shows, music, movies, workout videos, kids, etc. So we'll cover this. Basically, I'm going to cover the basics on how to get to where stuff you want to commonly watch. So this box has a ton of content which I possibly couldn't cover in one video, but I'm going to cover everything you'll need to get this box up and going. So we'll start at TV shows. So TV shows, you got your basic icons down here. Now the box will load content at the top, as you can see up here, for the most popular shows. So you can always go through here and scroll with the remote using your right button. And you see the shows are highlighting. So like I'm a big Narcos fan, so I'll give you an example. So I go right here to Narcos, hit OK, give it a second to load. Okay, so season 2 is the latest one. And take in mind now, Narcos is on Netflix. And you notice I don't have a Netflix app on here. You can get any show that comes on any station, period. So you don't need Netflix to have Netflix shows. So you can cancel your Netflix subscription. You can cancel your Hulu subscription. You don't need them anymore. So we'll go to, I don't know, 3rd episode, just a random episode. So we click on that and we hit OK. Once you hit OK, it starts loading up your sources, as you can see here. Now, what this does is looking for episode 3. Now, this automatically finds the best source and plays it for you. So all you have to do is kind of let this run. Once this completes, your episode should start. And oftentimes on the box, you're going to see something down in the bottom corner that says working. Whenever you see that, it means it's about to load something. So I'll show you that in a second when this gets to 100%. Okay, so it's at 100%. So you see down here where it says working? And there it is. There's your show. All right, so show's playing. Now, anytime while the show's playing, if you hit the OK button in the middle of your remote right here, if you hit this button while the show is playing, it brings up a menu at the bottom. You can go to fast forward, rewind, pause, stop, etc. So if you go to pause, it tells you what's happening in this episode. All right, so that covers that. So we'll stop that. We'll click on stop. That brings us back. You're going to use this back button a lot here where my thumb is pointed. You're going to use this button a lot to go back through the menu. So you hit your back button. It takes you back. Hit it back again. Brings you back out. Now, for those who like to watch the TV shows that come on like Empire, like, you know, all the other stuff that's coming on TV right now that people watch, you go down here to Exodus. This is the source that I use. Under TV shows, you click on Exodus. And Exodus has a networks feature. So you see right here, networks, you select your network. So for all my VH1 people who love and hip hop and all that crazy TV that y'all watch, that stuff is right here. K. Michelle, Stevie J, Behind the Music, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Black Ink, Crew, everything you can think of is right there. So when you go to networks, in this case, we're going to do Empire as an example because there are a lot of people watching Empire. So I scroll up here to Fox because Empire comes on Fox. I select Fox. Give it a second. Okay. Go down here to Empire. There's season 3. And there's the latest episode that just came on this past Wednesday. So you click on that. And again, we let these sources load up. Now, Exodus is a little different from what I just showed y'all. Now, Exodus will give you multiple sources to choose from. And you basically select which one plays. Now, it's going to give you multiple sources. So if one link doesn't work, you're probably going to have 50 or 60 or even 100 others to click on, literally. So you'll see what I mean in a second once this loads up. So what it's doing, okay, so here we go. There's the working that I was speaking about. Now, here are all your sources. Now, all of these are the same episode, but it's just different links. So you notice right here, it's 273 items. So that's 273 links of that episode. So one of them is going to always work. You don't have to worry about that. So I see I click this first one. Okay, that's a high def source. So we give it a second. You see working here. And there it is. 720p copy, crystal clear. So we're going to stop this. All right. And so same thing works with this. And I'll give you one more demonstration on the TV shows and we'll move on. But the same thing works for Power. People still watching Power. You know, it was a good show that came on. I love that show. You go to Stars. Same thing. Go down here to Stars. There's Power. There's Survivor's Remorse, which is also a really good show. But you go to Power. Go to season 3. There's your season finale there. Click on that. Same process happens. It pulls up all the sources. And when it does, you select one. Now take in mind, You don't have to have the Stars channel. You don't have to have HBO. You don't have to have Cinemax, Showtime. Any of these shows that come on these channels, you can get through this box. It does not require you to have a subscription to Stars or HBO or Cinemax or Showtime. So I just want to reiterate that because people are thinking that, oh, well, I got to have that. You don't have to have that. Same thing with Netflix. You don't have to have Netflix to watch Orange is the New Black or Narcos or Luke Cage or any of these shows that come on there. So it's just like right here. We got all these high def, 284 sources. So I click on the first one, let it load. You see you're working down here in the corner, and your show comes on. Same thing. Now, of course, when it comes to the connectivity, Ethernet is always better than Wi-Fi. If you got good Wi-Fi in the home, you shouldn't have a problem pulling this stuff up as long as your internet's right. Internet's very important. So, same thing works with the movies. When you click on movies here, your top sources come up. All the movies, and you can go up here and scroll through. Excuse me. So you got all these different sources. All these different movies to look at. Same thing I use for movies down here, though, is also Exodus. Exodus covers the movies. So same thing. You go to Exodus for movies, and instead of having networks, you got an option that says, like, in theaters, for instance. Go to in theaters, and it brings up your listing of movies. Things that were in the theater recently, the things that have been in the theater, things that are currently in there, it's all here. So it works the same way. You find one of the sources, you play it, and it works. Now for this, like I said, these also work too. So like for instance, that Ghostbusters movie. I click on this. You notice it gets the sources. Now the difference between that down there, Exodus, and this is that this is going to auto play. So it automatically pulls here and finds a movie to automatically play. So if you give it a second, you'll notice okay, it's trying a high def 720 copy. Now I want you to pair with open load, which we're not going to do that right now, but you can normally go on your browser on the phone and pull this. So it's going to fail, but that's just because I didn't go to the website and pair it. But that's fine. So we'll hit cancel on that. And some of the movies are going to ask you to do that, and that's okay. So, but the movies do play. So sometimes you have to go to that website and click on the pair button. And it's free. Doesn't cost anything. It just takes your extra step. This is also why I use Exodus, because it doesn't involve those extra steps. So we'll try this Captain America just as an example. Okay, looks like this one's going to play. So, yep, and it plays. So, all the movies don't do that, just certain ones. But this is a full 1080p copy of Captain America. Also, if you press the up button on the remote, it skips 10 minutes into the movie. So, like if you press up right here, I'm 10 minutes into the movie now. Okay, so that covers that. Now, the next thing I want to cover, definitely the live TV, which I know a lot of people want this. Right now, there's an option called Suicide TV 2.0, which we'll look at here under live TV. And so if you go to that, it opens up. You go right here to live TV. Okay, and we go right here to USA. And you got your basic channels. BT, BT Gospel, CBS, Food Network, Fox, Lifetime, OWN, Oxygen, Spike, TNT. So we'll go to TNT. Click on that. You got two different sources to select from. So if one doesn't work, you simply select the other. Go to source one. Give it a second. And there it is. There's your TNT live. So that's live TV right there. And you notice this bar is doing this right here where it's kind of bouncing back and forth. That means it's streaming live. So this isn't like a pre-recorded something. This is live. Whatever TNT is showing live on the air right now, this is what you see. So Live TV pretty much works that way. Very simple, very easy to navigate and use. We'll cover sports next and pay-per-view because I want to get to those. So under sports, because football is a big thing for everybody right now. We go down here to sports, and you got your option for Pro Sport right here. That's what I use for to play all your sports. So you go to Pro Sport, and you notice you got all your categories: NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB. So we go to NFL, see what game is on right now. So we go to NFL games, and as you can see, these games are on right now. So you got the Texans and Vikings. We'll go to Eagles and Lions. Okay, you select this, and you got all these different sources that come up. So we'll just select this one because I've already selected it previously. But you select this and wait, and there's your game.
Is it a first down where it went out of bounds? Being at the very minimum, if it's not a first down, it's fourth down in Philadelphia to run.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is live. And the same thing works for all the games when they come on Sunday. Now, there's also a section I added in here for college. So for all my people that watch college football, you go down to subreddits. My subreddits right here. Click on that. And you notice I got an option here called CFB Streams. That stands for College Football Streams. You click on that. Now, of course, there aren't any college games on today. I don't know if this one's working, but we'll try it. I didn't know that was there. It may not. I don't think this game is on. But what this does is it pulls all the college games on Saturday that are playing. So on Saturday, when you come back to that list I was just on, it's going to have a list of all the college games currently playing. And you'll be able at that point to watch them. Just like you do the NFL games. Yeah, this probably isn't going to load because I don't think this game is on. This may be an old listing that never got removed. But we'll cancel that. But what happens here is that with the college games, you know, you got the same access. So the same thing works for the NBA too. And I accidentally hit the home button, so forgive me for that, y'all. We'll go back in. Didn't mean to do that on the remote. But as I was stating, with the college games, with the NFL games, that's how you do. You just go down here to sports. Now, pay-per-view, I've put this here, icon here called Zim TV PPV. That stands for pay-per-view. So all my UFC people, all my boxing folks, if you want to watch some pay-per-view, something's coming on, WrestleMania or whatever, you go right here to Zim TV pay-per-view. I click on this, and when it loads up, I go down here to sports, and I go to Stream HD. Stream HD allows you to stream your boxing, UFC, whatever, in high def. So you go to Stream HD, and it's got different categories in here, but like right here you would have box. So for boxing matches on, you would click on box. There's nothing there right now because there's no boxing matches on pay-per-view. Same thing for UFC. If there was something UFC on right now, you would click this and it would be UFC fights there. Right now there's nothing there because there's no UFC or boxing matches on. This also gets NFL and NBA too, but sometimes the sources aren't as reliable, so that's why I use Pro Sport. This basically covers everything that the box does. Of course, you've got workout videos here. You've got all kind of stuff. So you got different options there. You've got fitness channels, yoga, insanity. The Post Fitness has a lot of stuff you can search for. The kids section has a lot of stuff. Under kids, you got top movies up here, just like any other thing, old school and new school. One thing I love about the kids section is the Disney section, and I'll cover that real quick. Go down here under kids to the Disney collection. And you got all the Disney categories based on years. So we'll go to the 90s because I'm an 80s baby and I'm old. So I started watching these in the 90s and 80s. So we'll go to the 90s, and it's starting in 1990 and it goes all the way down. It goes by year. So it goes 91, 92, etc. So like one of my favorite Disney movies, Aladdin. You click on this. You got 3 links there. Remember I told you if one link doesn't work, others will. Click on link 1. Give it a second to open the stream. And sometimes it takes a few seconds, so just be patient. But when it opens, you're going to have full high def on this movie, or at least 720. So it's opening up. So you see working there, And there's your movie. 720. And like I said, you can hit OK, you can pause it, and you get a description of the movie right there. So whenever you hit OK for that menu to come up, you just hit your back arrow to take the menu away. And there you go. So as you can see, the box works great. I mean, people ask me all the time, and I'm going to address this while I'm in this video. Well, what makes this any different from the Fire Stick? Why is this better than the Fire Stick? Well, there's a few reasons. One, this allows Ethernet. Hardwiring your connection will always be more reliable, faster, and better speeds by hardwiring. Fire Stick doesn't allow you to do that. Number two, this box is full open source, meaning you can completely modify this box to do everything that it needs to do properly. The Fire Sticks come preloaded with a lot of junk software that you cannot take off. Even though you can put Kodi on the Fire Sticks and they work great, they don't let you take off all the extra crap you don't need. And it gets in the way and it confuses you trying to use the Kodi. Not only that, but the Fire Sticks also are limited on memory to what they can do, all that they can process at one time. The software with all these features would not run good on a Fire Stick because it's not enough memory to do it. But another thing I want to show y'all real quick before we go. Let's go over here to Phoenix, which is not there. I'll cover that in another video because it's not on this particular build. But as you can see, this build works great. The software works great. And the build works great. This is everything that you'll need. Every movie that's ever been made, you can search for. Every movie that's ever been made, you can search for. And that's the cool thing. Like another thing I didn't show you guys, and I'll show you this real quick. Under Exodus, you go down to search. Now let's just say I type in a movie. Like one of my favorite movies, of course, is Scarface. So I type in SCAR. Go to search, type that in. There's Scarface right there, 1983. So I click on that. Okay, and it's bringing up multiple sources here. All these in high def, 84 different copies. Give it a second to load. There we are. Just that quick. So any movie you could ever think of a search for is here. So that's the beauty of this box, man. It's so convenient because you could never run out of stuff to watch. You know, you got movies for days, man, and TV shows. Any new TV show that comes on, you got it right here. So it's pretty cool, man. So hope this covers everything that we would want to go over in this box. If there's any more questions, feel free to message me. But this pretty much covers it. I mean, these boxes are great devices. A lot of people are getting them, cutting off their cable TV, cutting off their satellite, saving a bunch of money by switching to these boxes because all you need is good internet. And who doesn't have good internet nowadays? So this is pretty much a thing that we would want to work on. So whenever you're done on the box, you can simply hit your home button. It takes you back to the main screen, and you simply tap your, turn my light on, simply tap your red power button here one time. Click it one time, and the box turns off. Light turns red, and of course it's lost signal because the box is connected. And that's it. Hope you guys tune in, subscribe. I'll be making more tutorials in the near future. Have a good one.